You know, you should check this out. How's everybody doing? You know, I was just thinking before the word, all the two-letter words, right? There's only two letters in the alphabet associated with 99. It's I and R, regardless of what you do, right? But when the alphabet switches, right, when the alphabet moves into 360, it's no longer the same thing. It's no longer I and R, right? In fact, there's no longer 99. They become what is 55, 555, right? Solid, 111, plasma, 555. We move amongst that. Where do I find this? 360 degrees. I said the letter, I mean, look at this guy right in the middle of the water, like, poof, I'm done. What are you guys doing? We're going to walk later, you know that, eh? Right now it's cleaning time. All right, how you doing there, buddy? Yeah. So like the word no, right? The word no are the first two letters, as like M and N are the last two letters. It becomes what is Ba'ab, Ba'ab, Ba'ab. Why do I say that? Because L is B and M is 1A. It comes Ba. And then when you get N-O, right, you end up with A-B, Ab. And when you say 1, 2, you get 1221, you can possibly associate it to Abba, to Ba'ab, to Baba, to 33, which is mathematically these two things create 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. We're going to connect the moon up to another cycle. Okay, so something happened that Mars got split up. This is what it seems, the two moons of Mars. There's many stories I can create, because in one of the stories, if you take a look at Rubik's Cube, you're going to see there's 54 faces. There's actually 6 sides, and there's only 8 faces. There's actually 4, 4, and 1, meaning edges and corners to every single side. Not really. Only on the top and the bottom, or the east and the west, can you get 4 and 4. Otherwise, what you do get on every single side, right, are the 4 crossings of the edges, and that will be 4, 8, 12. And then you'll get the 6 hearts, which is in the center, and that's going to be 18. And then the 1 core, the universal joint, right? So that's 19. And this is where the Quran comes in with 114. It's the movement of the cubes. I can show you all these movements in time. When enough questions are asked, I will answer the questions, because all I'm doing is filling in the gaps, right? I'm adding the sand. You have the sand, you filled in the gap already, right? Now I'm giving you the water to bring it to life so you can see it move. Just like the Father. The way through me is the Father, me. The word me, matter and energy, Mars and Earth, the 13th and the 5th letter, the split of the alphabet, the split of the zodiac, the connecting of 3.5 to the energy passing the moon. Did you know that Jesus is 74 and energy is 74? E-J-E-I. Did you know that matter is 77 and Christ is 77? So already we have the word I am inside the word of me. Inside of me, I am. I am born into the split house of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Ishmael. Ishmael brings the 2 houses together. Somebody's holding them apart. So they have to set up something that looks like, but is not. But you might think it is, but it isn't. And it's happening now. Yahoo. So when they go fishing, you can net 10 and then say Yahoo. You know what I'm saying? This is all formation, coordination, not by choosing, but by the breath. The Father goes through the pole onto, right? The Father goes through the pole. The ring goes around the pole. So no matter what you go in the 360, you're never without the Father. And the Father is ahead of you. Why is he ahead of you? You run as the snake that coils around all the way around the 36 of the cube, while the Father goes right through the cube, the penetration. And you can also see this even when you carve it out. right? Even when you carve this out, hold on a second. I want to see if I can tilt this in. I want to show you how you can carve this out. I want to see what you can get in that picture. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Is the dog moving? Yeah, okay. So when I take this nozzle, right, you see the nozzle here, the hexagon nozzle? It's pointing to me where the direction is. If I turn the nozzle this way, if you see the point, hold on. Do you see the way it's going to come out? That's right, up and down. So if I turn the nozzle this way, do you see the way it is now? That's the H letter. So when I run the nozzle to make the movement with this nozzle, all I need is, I don't need to go all the way around because two sides are the same or like the other. So if you're going to write with this, when I bring this down, bringing my hexagon to the left and the right, pointing the cube to the left and to right, have you ever drawn 4 hexagons next to each other? Try drawing 4 hexagons next to each other, but space them with one area space like a little window. Now this little window is going to create what is a 3 by 3 area space of 9, and it's going to connect within the cube different ways. You will see that connection by that drawing. Now when you take away the square, and what it is you create a hexagon this way, then you put the next hexagon next to it this way, then the one on the bottom this way, and then one on the other side this way. After that, put them all this way, one here, one here, one here, and one at the bottom. The same 4 hexagons, and now encompass this again by 9 and see what happens. It changes position. The 9 is a different way now. Earth and Mars coming together. And the word no and father and the way of, it's a 2-letter word. 1-letter word, 2-letter word, 3-letter word, 4-letter word, right? So when you go through the pole, right, you go from the top to the center to the bottom. There are 3. Plus there's one way in and one way out. So that's 3 and 1, 4, 3 and 1, 4. Total of 5. But it's not 5. And if it was 5, the maximum would be at 15. So the vibration runs at 15. Because by the time it goes in, processes, and then goes out, that is the vibration of 1 through 5. 2 fire signs, 2, 3, and 4. I don't touch both fire signs at the same time. 1 is inside of 5 and 5 is inside of 9. Look at that. I'm all tied up. So I got to get back to work and pressure hose over here. And how's everybody doing? No, not really gardening. My sister said to me when she went on vacation, she sort of elbowed me and said, I got a few weeds between the bricks by the pool if you don't mind pulling a few out. So then I saw there was also weeds by the barbecue, and then there was weeds by the dinner table, and then there was weeds by the night table, and then there was weeds on the other side of the little fountain, and then there was weeds underneath the air conditioning, and then there was weeds by the entry, and now there's still weeds in the driveway. And now not only are there weeds, but I noticed that there's green on the tiles. I noticed that the border in the back has been pulled out. I also noted don't use a saw because there's an electrical wire there. Whoop, didn't make that mistake yet, right? So I see all of this and it's going in the pool and we needed some salt, and she said I can borrow a little bit. I told her, I said, I need a few bucks. I said, you got a post that's down. I want to buy a fence post, and I need to buy 2 bags of this, and I ended up spending the whole load, right, on repairs and stuff, and I'm still short 2 bags, but that doesn't matter. I'm still working. Anyways, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So I noticed that with this, I noticed a couple of anomalies, and that no and father was really coming to my head. Know the father, and is it no and yes, or is it KNOW? Because at the end of KNOW, it's talking about the mother. Because OW onto man, what would be father, would now be woman. So to know the father is actually KN, which is 11 and 15. And that is what is, just give me the 11 and 15. You're going to bring Gemini and Aquarius together. And 11 is hold on a second. No, K is 11, and sorry, it's 14. Okay, at 911 comes together. The east and the west comes together. 1.5 times the difference. Where do I get these numbers from? We all have the same numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're right there. All you got to do is read them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is it in the whole house 100% of what 1 is, or is it 50%? 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. Actually, when you get to 5, it's quarters, but we won't talk about that yet. Okay? 2/3 and 1/3. When we get to 5 or quarters, we have to discuss that. But when you get to 1, right, is it 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, 5 and 5? Which one? Or is it 1, 2 and 7, 1, 3 and 6, 1, 4 and 5, 2, 3 and 5? Right? Like, which combination? Or how about the 3, 4, 3 combination, which is 7 by 7 by 7? That's a perfect 10, right? Because now we have the corridor on each side inside the E world passing through the gateway. You say matter and energy, why not say Jesus Christ? Because the same words would come up with matter and energy. Just say me, matter and energy, M-E. The 13th letter and the 5th letter in pull, guess what? It's the orange ball. Combination, red and yellow, the soul and the fiery spirit coming within. What's the cat doing inside the house, burying like a pirate inside the sand? Right? We also know we got the fire sign by the fire hydrant, Hydro Quebec, or Hydro Ontario, or what hydro do we know that's within the doghouse going down by the hydrant? Don't keep it a secret. Keep away from the pigs, right? The swine, right? The power of the swine. Hook me up, right? Stay halal, like eat kosher, right? Eat chickens, right? Because they can't fly no more. They got to eat as many as they could. I think that was the punishment, right? The punishment is not to eat the swine. In fact, they infected it so much, the swine, they only use the swine for testing. Did you know that? Don't eat the swine because they test with it. We have to test the swine. Jump over the hoop. Let's see how your heart rate is with the swine. Let me put a swine in one chair and a human in the other chair. And this is a game, of course, TikTok. We're not talking about just fun things where I put the swine in the chair and I put the other one and we hook them up, their fingers and their toes, and I hook up the two for the swine, and well, I don't know which one I'm going to hook up. I'll just hook up the crab for myself, right? I'll be the crab. We'll hook them up. You know what I'm saying? The pig 977. It's the highest rating you can get through the gateway. It's a coila. Runs into both houses. How do I know? P-I-G, the letters. The 16th letter for P. Does anybody know about P? The reverse is K11. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. It's 1 between 2, creation. Therefore, if you're going 1 between 2, you're creating braids. And it takes 3 to create the braids. And not one of the braids, okay? Not one of the braids becomes the center of the reality. They each share the braid in between. First it's this one, then it's that one, then it's this one. So who's the father from above? You'll never know because it comes down in strands and pickles and parts, right? What was once a cucumber in the field is now a pickle in the fridge and vinegar. Isn't that where they put all the avorted ones, right? You know why I say V for vort or vote? Because it's a B for V in Spanish. The H in French, I don't happy with you, I don't hate you. You know when you say hate in French or anything with H, it's going to be the vowel. They skip over the H. It becomes silent. So 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 is 6 and 7. The 6 and the 1, check this out. O-N-E equals to 34. 3 and 4, 7. S-I-X equals to 52. 5 and 2, 7. 1 and 6 was 7. We have all the 7s inside P. The I is what splits on the protractor. Is that what you call it? Or the compass that splits? It's where you put the point in. That's where the I is, right? The G, right? What is the G? It's what is a 313 connect, which turns into what is now a 616 connect. But in this connect, it's a little different. Why? Because one of the connects is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other connect is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, or 2, 4, 6, 8. What do I mean? Counting 1, 2, 3 is counting by a half area space. Take an angle. Anytime you cut this angle like this, right, and run it up, that's a half angle, creating what is the soul now, coming in on day 6 of Genesis. You think it's Genesis? Or how about the moon and the sun? Of course, with reference. The sun ends up to be what is the IT system, powered by the oceans, which is guided by the moon, and of course other celestial planets, because I'm not the end game of this explanation. Of course not, because everything I'm telling you has already been said by somebody else. I'm just reading you the orchestration through the mathematics and equations and games that keep it relative to its reality, meaning that 1 between 2 equals to 3. Now we can create. We have singularity. 1 and 2 are singularity on a cube, on a square cube, right? Which is like a baseball. You know what I'm saying? A cube is like a baseball. It is baseball. And do I have one in my pocket? No. So where was I? Yeah, the 616 is because they're counting the in-between space. They're counting the 1, 3, 5, 7 is connected by 2, 4, 6, making it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then when they count it down, they go 7, 5, 3, 1, and then they put 6, 4, and 2. The thing is that binary is 1, 2, 4, 8. They jump over the 6. The other thing is, where do we start with the 1? Do we start the 1 at the 1 position? Do we start it in the 5 position? Or do we start it in our new position and start it in the 7th position, where 6, 1, 6 connect, in order to equal what is 7 and what is 13, before we get to the another 1, and that becomes the 14, which is the ring of the cube. You see, we have 36 on the ring. We also have 14. We also have 22. We also have 3 bands of 12. We also have a beehive on the cube. You know how? By running on an angle, creating the beehive. But we don't only have to create the beehive that way, right? The beehive can also go 1, 2, but then it's going to have to spread its wings more. At least when you turn it on an angle, you can see 1, 2, 2. Oh, actually, you'll see 3, 2, 2. I'm just trying to look into my head. How's everybody doing? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, but it's really not 2, 4, 6. It's 2, 4, 8. Right? Binary doubles up. This creates a half area space. The 4 becomes the half area space now. The 6 is 3 to 1. The 4 is 2 to 1. But between the 4 and 6, it's 1.5, and that's where we are right now. The connection is between the 4 and the 6. So when I talk about these combinations, what is the total? What is the minus? What is the division? How to arrive of it? Where do we arrive in binary? If we had to scale up, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. Now check 256. 2 and 5, right, is 7, and 6 is 13. 1 and 3 is 4. So we had to stop at the 128. 256 scales up again. And 16 by 16 is that scale up. So if you're having a sweet 16, it's because you've scaled up to the 4th dimension of numbers in binary. 4, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 6, plus 4, 10. Start at 10, take away the 4th one, and you have 60 seconds on the clock with A, B, C. Michael Jackson, where are you? We're talking your numbers. I was always fascinated by that song because I had dreams. I had dreams about the alphabet a long time ago. Yeah, so I dreamt about the alphabet a long, long time ago. They were scary dreams. And then there were a lot of questions people were putting out there. And then a lot of questions I asked myself, things in what I found normal for myself, for somebody growing up at 10 years old or 9 years old or 8 years old and 7 years old and 6 years old and 5 years old. You know, even back then I asked teeny little questions, but because of you're young and you're just learning, you think it's normal. 1967, and then you see 1969, and then you hear the Olympics are coming to Montreal, and the budget has been broken by 10 times the amount, and the bureaucrats are out there, and I'm like 13 years old, and I'm listening to all this, and I'm going, this doesn't make any sense. And then everybody's going to church, and that didn't make any sense. And people getting married and can't get divorced, and that didn't make any sense. And not having be able to have discourse and everybody arguing without discussing, right? An argument is an uncompromised discussion, and that didn't make any sense. And I'm starting to say, wow, is there anything in this world that's going to make any sense? So I sought out, and I even sought out to see the darkest of dark until there was latent of existence. I say latent of existence. All words have meaning where existence did not exist, except for the momentary time of the spark of life that we are, right? Like the little solenoid, but we're not the solenoid, okay? We're not the solenoid. In fact, we're basically not even here. We're a refabrication. If you want to know where we are, Beam Me Up is more or less who we are. Did you know that? Beam me up, Scotty. SCOT 22 37 47 57 equaling to the moon. Now TY is the fox, which is the passage within a moon. 45 112, or what is 93, the lower and the upper realm of what is 1 2 3 4 10 and 6 7 8 9, or how about 6 and 9 15 and 7 and 8 15, come back to 1 2 3 4 10, and then we'll hit the last ball for game and tennis. Why? Because we passed through Leo 4 times, making all these connections. The upper house, the lower house, now we ignite Leo and the game is over. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. These were lucid dreams. I don't know if you want to call it lucid, but I was there. I saw that alphabet sitting up there, bouncing around in a white room. You know. Anyways, it happened 3 or 4 times, and my mother had to grab me and calm me down. It was the only dreams I ever had where I couldn't control myself. I was like hyperventilating, and it was back in the 70s. So. I gotta get washing. So if you have any questions, you know, wow, why is the garage door open? Somebody open. Who's here? Oh, wait, hold on a second. I'll be back. Hold on. What are you doing? Did you see the walkway while you're here? Did you see the? You have 30 seconds. Okay, just look at the walkway. Stay on. Just look at the walkway. I bought a post, I bought sand. Okay, bye. Okay. You know, when people are busy and they say I'm too busy, I got to get a red D. I want to know what a red D is. I'm ready. I mean, every language is different, right? Here in Canada, they keep going ready, and I'm going, it's a red D. So in this case, do I need the Y? Like in the last word in Scotty, beam me up, they could have just said, Scott Towel, soak me up. Game science is awareness, and it's not just a game. It's everything you do. You have to be aware. It's the schooling of life, the way you do everything, the way a door opens, the reason for everything existing in the positions that they are. I just lost my trend of thought. Besides the game science, the alphabet has definitely a structure. Yes, this is what it is. It's because this channel, okay, forever who comes into this channel, I come here, I can just do silent videos. But the minute I get a question, if somebody asks me a question, guess what? It's somebody else's thought. We've just connected brains together. And now I know something. Okay, what you want to know is one thing. I do the research. Now I might know something. Now I might answer something in it or say something that might be pertinent or relevant to you. And now, boom, we've connected a science. I definitely know you're going to only ask me something that's relevant into my dimension of thought, through the numbers, the mathematics and association, right? It's got to be fair. Remember, we got to look for that fairness, because everything that's fair to the human, you will notice what it is. Like, how about that number one, eh? That was the best number one I saw in my life. Wow, this is funny. Zen path. Wow, this was made in X world for Zen path. Instead of 10, it's Zen. Is there a difference between the Z and the T? Guess what? They go together. It's just like the T and H, part of the teacher. The 26th letter comes from the cube. It's also the dog. Why are they calling this the dog house? Is it because of all the cubes? Did you know there are 26 cubes? Dog is 26. God is 26. Reverse cube of what is 26, or 2 and 6, or 6 and 2, which is also the queen, is what is 1 and 5, Mars, Puck, or PCU, what holds the vibration of the two fire signs, Leo and Aries. And you can only actually have 5 sides. Otherwise, you're on the other side, right? Have you ever heard that story? 5 sides, otherwise you're on the other side. It's a plug-in. I only have 21 minutes left on here, and I got some gardening to do. So I'm going to finish the gardening. If you have any questions, let's join heads, right? Are we looking for lies my father told me? Who is my father? What? No, seriously, I didn't want to make that joke, but there's a lot of Bible out there, right? And there's a lot of stupid stuff going on out there in the world. There's a lot of questions going on in the world. So like I said, I want to keep this to 1, 2, 3, ABC. I don't want to go off base. If you want to talk about the moon, I'll do an analytic about the moon in star math. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of things you can do with the word, and it's all basic math, and you can say it's good or it's no good. The thing is, I do a 360, and I can, if you said do it this compared to that, I'll use the same equations that I did here as here. It's like brushing your teeth, just like with a different toothpaste. You know what I'm saying? The equations that I create to bring things and understanding of numbers and words, the alphabet, the characters, the dots and the dashes, the game, whether it's pool or darts or hockey or baseball or soccer. And remember, hockey on ice, you got to keep everything cool. Another thing, if you know anything about memory, gigabytes, terabytes, computers, how they're built, how the pieces and parts are built, what the numbers that are within inside of them, the electricity, the way electricity flows, the way plumbing works, pieces and parts and elbows, and how they call the pieces and parts in different sizes in the metric system. And then there's tools that we use. These are the pieces we use for the house we live. And if you've gone home with the loot bag, well, that loot bag is the tool bag, right? Backwards. Right. Right. So fear is phobos, okay? Or panic could be phobos, and demus. Demons is dread and panic, or whatever it is. Anyways, it's demus and phobos. And let me see. Okay, can you see me now? Let me see what happened. Okay, there it is. There it is. So here's where I have a better picture. If you look down in my on my YouTube channel, perhaps same name, or back in one of my videos I did. This must be 1,000 videos, not to shout myself out. There's a lot of time put into it. I like to set up some Discord, a group, one day to get my own channel going, where we can post pictures and talk a little bit more free. Well, there's not much to hide here anyways at all. So yeah, if that can be done, that would be fantastic. So this here is what is the A. The house is split. The house of Abraham is split, and then it's tilted. You see the way my head comes up into the center here? We are the I am. We are the I am. When you go and you do the wave, you're crossing over the house, you're signaling. When the sun comes up, the sun will come up tomorrow. The reason for that is because there's two arms. It comes up, it pans out here. They touch, and then each one goes down. This one that comes up, this is the AM sun. This is the PM, sorry, this is the AM to PM. This is the PM to AM. And they come up and down together, sunrise, sunset, right? It's supposed to be 16 hours. So if there's less than 16 hours, something's going on, right? The Trinity. How you doing, Spicy? So you can see what this is, right? And now when you go down here, right, these are the twins over here. If you look on the outside, this is your 180-degree crossing. You see these two D's, DD, 500, 500, bring the world together, right? You want to draw the M going up on this side, coming down towards here, over to my head, going up towards this side, and then coming down, furnishing these two houses. The love comes in, runs down the river, supporting the Capricorn head. That over here is a joint system. This over here, okay, I'm not sure, it could be the empty space or the oceans below. You have to duplicate this in the river to see what's going on. Also, you can look at the DVD, the letter R over here, and you have to extend it over to the other side of the house, right? Even in the letter B takes up more space than the letter R. See that? Stop it here. You add on the letter B, I've taken up the other side of the house. So we have an R here and R here, 18 and 18, 180. Also noted in Hebrew as Resh. You come over here, you have the 70 upside down. And in another picture, this will look like 70 instead of this number over here. So you'll bring in all 7 gates together. 3 by 6, 18. 1. See this? It goes, oh, sorry, I'm a little excited sometimes. When I do this over here, right over here, stop it here, there's an R here. You see the R starting here and ending here? But if you go up here, stop this over here. Hold on. And now I got rabbit ears. See the rabbit ears I created? I got the R with rabbit ears on top of it. So now I can create rabbit ears on both sides, or CC when you create the halfway sign. I can't do it here, but you get the drift of what I'm doing. It's a put together system. We can rebuild it ourselves so we can see it, because it's utopia. We live in utopia. You know what utopia is? How they can control us. But it's not really control us. It's teaching us and showing us how they can take everything away from us by us giving it away ourselves. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're not professional humans. We don't have our thinking caps on. Oh, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's okay. It's okay. Another day, another year, the dishes, the flies, you know. And all of a sudden, a lot of mosquitoes. How come? Because you didn't clean the dishes last night. Because you didn't put this away or clean that up. The horse got out of the stable because you were going too quick. You're too late. You spent too much time in something that you shouldn't have been in. Bayam, bayam, bayam. How do you know what clean is? How fast should I go to clean? You go as fast as clean takes to be clean. That's it. And how long does that take? In time, you'll know. We'll get an average. We'll get an algorithm. And then I'll put myself like this. And I really have to get back to this, but I want to show you this. Hold on a second. You see, in this, what happens here, right, is I moved far away. But what's going to happen is I'm moving over to the right. So now I'm going to move in. Sorry, let me move to the right here. See the way I move in? And then I move in. Look where my head is now on that book, right? Do you see where the L is or the V on this side? Look what happened to this book. I became one of the pages. So what is left over in the C is the creation of me. Do you see the cube in here? I have entered into the cube. The lower side and the upper side inside of Saturn's square. Take a look at this little ship over here on this side. Right? You ever see that ship before? Or how about that ship before? You can also see, can you see this? You can see this, the little, like what looks like a snake, right? This over here is a heart passage. You see the square here? When there's a square here, these are quadrille paper. This means there's a space. If there's a space here and this X is in a space, it's in a space that cuts the area space into 4 areas. Above is below, as east is in west, and you can see it here, the space. As the book ends backwards, you can see the open gap. No, you can't do it any different. That's a heart space, and the waters are shared inside the twins of Gemini. 1 between 2 equals to 3. The 5G, right, over here is where the E, the beaver, the nickel, comes underneath the ground. It waves under the ground, comes over this side, right, and they wand together. These two connect. You turn them around, it looks like an S. It depends which direction it's going. I don't have all the art. I do know that it can be created. That's Ishmael. Ishmael is in the water. Ishmael in the water connected to the constellations. How is Ishmael in the water connected to the constellations? Is that the cube, which has 54 area spaces, and where 54 represents the woman, where 45 represents the fox. Fox is what is 666, which is connected to the star system. What is the star system? 1 through 9. 1 is 58. 9 is equal to 90. 8 is 86. 7 is 82. 6 is 78, 5 is 74, 4 is 70, 3 is 66, 2 is 62. When you crisscross them in a star like it equals to 666. So anything to do with 616 to create 7 is connecting the zodiac through the waters. The Rubik's Cube is 54 face with 26. 26 for the dog, the god. Take away the O in God. We'll talk about it later. Makes it 2 letters instead of 3 letters, 54 instead of 81. Wow, I lost my place. Help me out. Yes, the cube. So mother or mare or horse or power or horsepower or V8. V8, the bevel inside here with the water that flows on through H&H 88 Hoover Dam. That ignites all the tribulations of the tabulations within the gaming. Think about it. That when those two structures, you know, the horsepower, the turbines running, this here, take it apart, move it around. It's going to create something else. I haven't tried it yet. These are all pieces and parts of a greater machine. Why? Because really, I did design it, right, through dictation. The dictation was, I just followed the lines. I already knew what this did. I already know that I need to create the ace letter. And I also need to know that you don't always create the ace this way. You create the ace this way and then this way with a gap. This gap is an expression in French, aigu et grave. It starts with A-I-G-U and grave. Look it up in French. You will see. And when the G and R come together, the basic reality of G, air, gear, but in English it says gear. Now I'm going to think of Richard Gere. So now I have to think of something rich. What kind of rich gear? Is it oiled? Is it rich oil? Anyways, there's a lot of things that go on. I'm down to 15 on my phone. Okay, so guess what? 68 and 68 is 136 plus 1. And the last thing I wrote in my book yesterday was that number, 68 and 68. You know why 68 and 68? 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 6 and 8, 6 and 8. For Mars, Ishmael runs the 2 houses. He gets 2 gateways, right? Plus he's the one igniting. He's the one going 137. So then you get after that, you get 68, 168. So hold on. Okay, so one of the things is 6 and 8 is 14, which is the ring of the cube. It's perfect because it gives you 2 poles for the 2 moons of Mars. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, communication through the cat. So we have to learn a little bit more about the cat. 3-letter word with the dog. It's D and C, like in Marvel Comics, AC/DC, running the same corridor. It seems like they took the doghouse and they put the cat in to disrupt the vibration within. And the cat is 2 and 4, so therefore the difference is 2. I just have to think 2 times 4 creates that 7th gate pass. Everything was duplicated, right? And 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6. And the cubes, when they work together, one side is 8, the other side is 6. The 6 side will go to 5 to 4. The 8 side will go to 9 and 10. And then there's, if you lay down 5 elements, you will be able to produce, if you put down 5 elements, you can produce 7 elements. This is where the moon electric comes in. If you put down 5 elements and you get 9 elements back, this is where the energy comes in to you, and this is your communication. Where do I get this from? 4 and 10 on the cube. So if you go down to the game, they tell you something that is ODDS, right? And that ODDS, okay, when you put down, what is this amount? You get 9, that's a 14. When you put down 7, you get a 5, that's a 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 14, 1 and 4 is 5. When you connect the 3 and 5, multiply them both by 20. The 3 becomes 6 or 60 seconds or 60 minutes, right? The other one becomes 5 times 20 or 20 nickels, right? Equals to what is 100 or 100% of the 60 seconds on the clock. And note that 1 through 9 equals to 45. You divide it by 9, it equals to 5E. I and E in the deck of cards, they assimilate together. The E on a cube assimilates all that is and all that is not with what you do not see. And that's 5 and 4. This is when the feminine comes in, when it holds the heart within Aries. The fire signs and the air signs ignite. When Mars ignites, they are always ignited. The things that change around is the earth, water, and water, earth. When you're sleeping and when you're awake. The 4, 8, and the 2, 6 become the 6, 4, and the 8, 2. And if you ever take a look at the dice cube one day, you will see why. There's more to come. Thank you very much. Running out of time. Help, support. Love you all. And I'm not talking about today. It's just every single day. Yeah, and again, support is like, if you can share this channel, if you can find out someone who's an IT technician, who is a plumber, an electrician, run any of these numbers by them or listen to what they have to say. Just don't say anything. You know, something in the Bible, something that you want to mention or ask me. Let's do this. Let's believe, okay, by knowing that I can answer these questions numerically, not even reading. so that we'll know that there's a creator, and that maybe we can just stop and remember that when Moses saw the burning bush, okay, when Moses saw the burning bush, okay, she said, when Moses saw the burning bush, the Lord said unto Moses, and as she said, I am the Word, right? Then that was it. You know what I'm saying? Upon the burning bush when the Lord spoke. Anyways, okay, gonna run out of time. Speak to you after. Come back later. Boop, boop.